drawn out, horribly long game number one with a final time of just over 13 minutes. I don't know about you, TGE. Whew, I needed to take a long stretch, kind of stretch out, kind of crack the neck a little bit, but we're back. We're ready for game two of this best of three matchup.
Yep, and as you can see on Crim's side, one, he switched up sprites. Two, Lack has chosen to make Ganon be required. So we are going to have to find ourselves a bow. We are going to have to find ourselves some silver arrows. So we're probably going to go a little longer than 13 minutes.
All right. So now that was something we were kind of talking about, in between seeds is, man, if this ends up being another 10-minute seed, I wonder if they'll play all three. Well, I think, TGE, that kind of throws that out the water most likely. I mean, I think we're going to probably see 30 to an hour at minimum.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and we got a little bit of a block of time here, considering this match was supposed to start at 9. So I think we might be good if we go in a little bit of the overflow, like the hour and a half range.
J-Derg, no, bad J-Derg, bad.
Oh, come on, that would be great. You know it.
All right. So as we prepare for game two, and we are off, immediately we see something that appears to be meat.
We have meat.
The all-inclusive, all-useful meat.
Well, there's the silvers. They already have the silvers.
And we have 4 Triforces. Okay, we have 4 Triforces. At least we have that going for us. As Crim finds level 3.
And
I didn't see what he was...
That's the Northwest of Vanilla Start, but more importantly, that looks like it's Vanilla Second Quest 3.
You might be correct. He's headed towards the wooden sword. So is Lack. We'll see if the wooden sword is in its vanilla spot. But that does mean that at the very least, the level 9 dig is going to be quick, unless important items are in 9.
Right, so from the looks of that Triforce and seeing Second Quest 3, we have 1, 2, 6, and 8, I believe. And the reason we have 1, 2 as opposed to 1 and 3 there is because the Triforces are swapped around in Second Quest, and it's going to use the primary set, which is the dungeons here, of course. And there's the...
Wait, what was that? I didn't see what it was.
That was the silvers on the ground in 3.
Okay, at least I feel less guilty about them having the silvers now. Like now the game is just spitting at them. The game is just trolling them at this point.
But you can't. We found 3 total items so far between the 2 games. The bow last game, and then the blue boomerang, which they started with, and then in this game, the silvers, which they started with.
Well, we do have the important meat. I mean, if in these times there's a shortage of meat, these guys, they're perfectly fine. They're stocked up.
I mean, absolutely, and considering that was Second Quest 3, there's a pretty good chance the bait may or may not be required anyway, so, I mean, having it early saves you money.
Lack does find a candle shop under the blue ring vanilla spot, or vanilla Second Quest 2, as you will. And using the bait in those last couple screens, Lack showing off a little bait swag. Crim, not one to be showed up, uses the bait as well.
I mean, have meat will travel, right? I mean, throw it down there. Oh, we got a HUD clip.
Where did that go? What is he doing?
I think he was trying to come down to the bottom of the screen, do it that way.
Oh, that was... At first I thought he was just showing off, but that was actually quite good. He has nothing to defend with, and being able to skip past those Lionels is a pretty smart play.
Yeah, no, it actually was a really, really good play. Normally we see the clip left to right to be able to avoid things like that. Who actually can't go up and down.
Yeah, a lot of people ask that when we do vanilla runs, like, how come you don't scroll up and down? You actually could save time doing it if you were, a TAS or a robot. But for most humans doing it, it's too much risk for too little reward. But it does allow us to do cool things. You see it in like the 100% category and a lot in the randomizer. A lot of people do it in the randomizer.
Yeah, I know one of the favorite ones in the randomizer is to check out the dead tree and the 100 secret up in the northeast, and then HUD clip over to the letter cave. I know that's a popular.
Also going into level 8 from the woods. And then there's a few other spots that you can see it. But for the most part, it's more swag than anything else. Very few places it saves time.
Yeah, but I mean, you're doing a randomizer, you gotta have fun. Swag is all of what it's about. That's why you equip it in the lake and all that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, let's not forget the ultimate standings here. What really counts in this is the total swag. The standings are hidden. I'm sure I'm in dead last because I kind of got my butt kicked in my most recent match, but it's important. We track these things, folks. It's more important than SRL points.
Yeah, swag points. I mean, and of course, you get more points the bigger stage you do it on, so.
To answer the question in chat, Lack opted to force Ganon. So Ganon is required, and of course, if you missed it, the items we started with were the all-important meat and silver arrows, which normally would be like, oh, silver arrows, but as TG was pointing out earlier, the arrows were sitting on the floor in level 3. Just easy to grab in the very second room of the dungeon. So,
yeah,
thanks, game.
And before you say anything, no, the silvers being on the floor in 3 does not mean that Heart Shuffle was on. That was a second quest level 3, and the item's on the floor there.
And so far, that's the only dungeon I believe we've seen. No other dungeons so far. So...
Nope, no dungeons. We have a magical sword there. We did find a bomb shop, at least, which is going to help a little bit.
So correct me if I'm wrong, TG, but we know that was Second Quest 3 that we found earlier. Is there any reason that these runners wouldn't assume that they have to go back and get that Triforce at some point? Like, is there any mix of dungeons that could cause that to be level 2 instead?
No, 100% no. In this case scenario, with 1 through 6 rolling 1 through 6, second quest, the Triforces are going to be equivalent to what they would be in the second quest. So that slot, even though it's in the 3 slot, which we're accustomed to, it's technically the Triforce for 2. So both of these runners are smart enough and know the game well enough to know that they absolutely have to go into that dungeon and get that Triforce. They were key in Shutter Door blocks, so they're going to have to go back anyway. And we've got ourselves level 6, and if you haven't seen the second quest level 6 shape, oh, that's a fun one.
It is. I don't know if Swordless is actually option in these flag sets, but regardless if it was or not in this particular case, no. Ganon being required, they are absolutely going to have to get a sword.
Yeah, Swordless is not possible. However, the White Sword and Magical Sword being turned into bomb upgrades is definitely an option. We've seen the Magical Sword, so we know that's not on the table, but that is a thing. So you could be Wood Sword only.
I'm now headed over to Vanilla 3, and you notice his first quest level 3 instead of the shop, but we did see earlier at first quest level 2 was the lake, so we do have confirmed a mixed overworld.
Right, another way you can tell that, and I'm not sure if you knew this, did you notice anything funky about that level 3 screen? Isn't first quest level 3 brown?
First quest level 3 is typically like a light green, kind of blue almost.
Yeah, like the initial dungeon, like that was a much darker green on the dungeon entrance itself. That's how you know it's mixed quest.
Well, we do have a vanilla bracelet in a different spot. Lack picks up that bracelet. We haven't seen it in any road yet, so it is possible that could be required.
Yep, and the other big thing here is Lack found the wood sword up in the northeast corner, the dead tree, and we did see extra candles there, so we do know when we find a candle will be an option, although Lack does have the money to buy one if he comes across.
He did see the candle shop earlier, so probably will eventually make his way back over there unless he stumbles upon one of those extra candles. Crim now in the graveyard.
Yeah, I'd be questioning what that letter is, too. I don't blame you in the slightest.
A questionable prescription there, Crim. But with Second Quest dungeons, do not underestimate the potential importance of a potion. We obviously don't have a sword yet, but bubbles can become quite the nuisance if Second Quest enemies are on.
Well, here's the big thing is, which red bubble curse are we gonna get? I mean, Swordless is the quote-unquote easy curse to deal with. There's also the half speed, and then the reversed controls.
I'll take any of them. Just don't give me the half speed, man. That one drives me nuts.
Half speed is awful. So bad.
It's like I don't know if you've seen the recent meme category with the ACMLM hack where everybody sped up like 5 times. Have you seen that yet?
I have seen that, yes.
It's the exact opposite effect in this. Like when you play that hack and then you go back to vanilla, it feels like you're dragging through the mud, right? And it's kind of an interesting effect, but in Rando, the exact opposite happens. When you have that slowdown on for any extended period of time and you get curse removed, suddenly you feel like you're playing Turbo Steam and everything just raced up. It's really hard to deal with.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. I experienced it for the first time the other day. I'm just like, oh my word. I just want to go faster.
Ooh, Lack in trouble. Does a nice job of surviving and finds level 9 for his troubles.
I mean, that's a good find there because he can up a reset. And that level 9 start, well, that's where Vanilla 9 starts in its first quest.
Ooh, unfortunately, that bomb didn't explode before Crim takes that death. Hopefully, he remembers to go back and check that later, should it come into question of like whether or not he checked that earlier.
Yeah, but the good thing for Crim on that death here is that's going to force him to go up into a different direction, in theory, which means if he does head to the northeast, he will end up with a sword. Lack has also found a couple of take any's. Crim, unfortunately, not heading back to the northeast, continuing his way through back up to this Death Mountain area.
Lack also misses a bomb there and runs out of bombs. Going to kill Bluey here for a roll of the dice. Crim finally gets his candle.
Yeah, but Crim doing so off of a take any and not purchasing it, so that is something to keep in mind later when it comes to needing heart containers for potential items, such as a magical.
Nice little high five. Crim decides to up a. Lack now headed back towards the east. Crim finds level 5 under that bush, and he's going to go in. And Lack finds level 4.
So Crim finding the letter Z, Lack finding the letter D, because of course, second quest, the first 5 dungeons spell out Zelda.
So interesting difference here. Lack is going to dig 4. Crim decides to leave. Now, Lack has no keys. He does have 4 bombs, but level 4 second quest is a huge dungeon. And we do know that the Triforce is required, but there are also potentially 3 items in here. And
the other
of course,
big thing is Lack has sword, too.
yeah, Crim still needs to head over to the northeast area of the map so he can grab his sword. So depending on what Lack finds in here, this could be huge or this could be a huge waste of time. It really... Level 4 second quest is one of those that can make or break a seed. We'll have to wait and see if he gets lucky.
Yeah, that looked like it was a Chevy room that Lack was in, so he clips over to pick up that heart. Does have a compass, so at least he knows where he's going to find the Triforce. Which is interesting. I don't know my dungeon layouts for second quest too well, but that is fairly close to its vanilla location.
Item on the floor in level 4 is a heart container. As we said earlier, we still do not have a confirmation that Heart Shuffle is on. That silver arrows that we found in 3 could have been the level 3 item. We're still not sure yet. We'll have to find another one on the floor as both our runners taking simultaneous deaths.
Yeah, Lax is slightly less painful than Crim's because any overworld death is a painful death. So I hate to break this to you, JSR, but looking at the time, I don't think we're going to beat last seed's time.
I'm holding out hope for the 3 room 9 and Lack just like, okay, you're right. I don't think it's... No. Yeah, I thought about it for a second. I was like, I don't think there's any universe that could happen.
No, I can't think of one either.
still 2 items, and level 4 does have walk through walls, but ooh, bananas are just a bit too strong.
Well, apparently they got a hold of my leftover bananas Foster from Easter.
I mean, those would knock me on my butt too, but in a good way. It'd be a food coma.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm not saying that the flambe that was produced on Easter caused the smoke alarm to go off, but...
It's like, you know, I mean, I could be playing Zelda 1 Randomizer, but I'm eating ice cream and bananas and all kinds of sugary treats. Like, just let me be.
In a syrupy, alcoholic, you know, yeah. And yes, to answer the question, Track, it was leftover because I don't make things under a small scale. I used 2 full bunches of bananas.
Well, hopefully Crim's not going 2 bananas looking for this sword. He's in the right area of the... Just needs to make sure he avoids these enemies. They're doling out tons of punishment here, but he's doing a good job of getting closer.
I mean, level 6 isn't the worst find there for him because, hey, it's a health refill.
Now just needs to go up and right a few screens. I believe the sword, if I'm not mistaken, was the vanilla letter spots? Or was
Nope.
it the 100?
It was the dead tree.
Okay. I knew it was up here somewhere. I couldn't remember exactly where.
Right here, as a matter of fact.
Alright, so now Crim can finally start to dig apart this puzzle that we've kind of seen bits and pieces of all over. In fact, until Lack has gotten to level 4, we haven't seen much of what we found so far. Now Lack is, you know, about half, maybe a little past the halfway point of digging out this dungeon, down to half a heart, and still yet to find either of the other 2 items.
Nope, just finding lots of money and potential... Nope, that's not going to be the path for the Triforce. Crim was killing some of those blue moblins here to try and get some bombs. So you can see 0 bombs, 0 keys, and there's some money, and there's a bomb upgrade in 4.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he cannot pick it up with only 7 rupees to his name. And that's so deep in 4, I sincerely doubt that we'll see that bomb upgrade come into play on Lack's side. Does find a staircase.
I kind of want it to be the book.
Not much better than the book.
Yeah, a lot less utility in this set because enemies aren't 0 HP.
Lack trying desperately to smoke this Dodongo down to his last bomb. Nice! And he gets an extra bomb for his trouble.
The game giveth, the game taketh, and the game definitely gave there. Crim, on the other hand, did die, but did not pick up the power bracelet either. Died on the screen.
Ooh, Lack digging out this 4, and after troll after troll after troll, finally finds something, makes it all worthwhile, TG.
Yeah, ladder is huge.
And then immediately finds an old man. Yeah, thanks.
Walking the way to the Triforce, no less.
Yeah, it was just a fun little gauntlet.
Oh, it's the half speed!
It is the half speed, but unfortunately for us, and fortunately for Lack, he gets the Triforce, the curse is lifted, and he's out of 4, full cleared it, and did quite well to boot, and he's done with possibly the hardest of these dungeons to clear.
Yeah, I mean, especially if we don't know if we're on Shapes or Vanilla First Quest Shapes for 7, 8, or 9 yet. Haven't explored any of them, but yeah, of the second quest dungeons, 4 is definitely the hardest one, just because it's so massive, so large. You have the 2 items to deal with, walk through walls, a whole bunch of pain.
Now, I don't think we've seen the ladder item on the coast yet, have we?
I believe it was a heart container.
So assuming Lack has already seen that, then I doubt he'll be picking that up anytime soon. Does find level 5, opts not to go in. Oh! Clever, clever. That didn't work.
Well, because he's coming in from the bottom of the top, so he would have to. All he has to do is exit and re-enter, and he'll be fine.
I think for some reason it confused me too, and he doesn't go for the pirouette again and decides to spend his key. Luckily, he gets one from the Gibdos, so it shouldn't hurt him too much. It is vanilla-shaped Second Quest 5 here.
So we're gonna walk through some walls. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the first time I saw you could walk through walls playing this game in Second Quest, my mind was blown.
As a kid, I never beat Second Quest. It wasn't because I didn't have the skill to do so. I never thought to check the wall behind the Triforce in 4, and I'm sure a lot of kids had that same issue. It wasn't until I got Nintendo Power that I ever knew about that wall, and by then I was like, whatever. I didn't beat Second Quest until I was an adult.
Oh yeah, no, the exact same thing. It's like, because you're so conditioned through first quest that, you know, there's nothing ever behind the Triforce. It's the last room of the dungeon. And you know, you get a little bit of that teasing in 2Q3 where you kill the Dodongos, then have to take the stairs to get to the Triforce. There could be other things, but yeah, you're 100% correct. There's no way you think about ever, you know, checking behind the wall.
Lack does a great job, half speed, dealing with Dark Nuts, and down to 2 hearts, clears the room, and all hail, he declines, TG. He declined to hail.
I'm disappointed in him.
Does find a staircase, decides to take it. Meanwhile, Crim now knee-deep in level 4. Out of keys, it was not a straightforward path in order to get to the Triforce or the ladder. And I believe we said earlier, somebody in chat was mentioning earlier that one of the dungeons was ladder blocked. I don't know if that's 100% true, but it's safe to assume so.
Yeah, I always assume something's ladder blocked. Except last seed, nothing was ladder blocked.
I don't think anything was blocked in that last seed. I think that was about as free gets.
Yeah, 100%.
Ooh, Lack takes a death deep in level 5. He was doing a great job of avoiding damage, but just finally made a mistake. And this is a tough level 5 to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, especially on such low resources. We're only on Wood Sword, 5 hearts. Like, yeah, this whole thing, like, with the Second Quest enemies, the Second Quest dungeons, it is a lot more difficult to deal with, especially when you're dealing with these slow curse bubbles that you have to dodge around too, because that just makes things even worse.
And we still haven't seen the heart container on the floor here in 5, which if we see, would, you know, we can't assume that Heart Shuffle's on, but it would be nice to see something else to confirm that it isn't on, but still haven't seen any clues yet.
And with the heart container being on the coast, that gives us no information as to if there's going to be a heart around in a dungeon, because that could just be its vanilla thing.
Yeah, still need a little more information before we can determine that either way. Now, we do see that staircase means we have a very inconvenient segment for level 5, and Lack's going to have to take the staircase and find another way around.
You say inconvenient segment. I say interesting pathing decision.
Oh, no, from our chair, I love it. As a runner, that drives me nuts, but as a viewer or a commentator, I love it.
Oh yeah, anything for more trolls.
Oh, speaking of trolls, look at this NSU room. Good grief.
Ooh.
Luckily...
But yeah, we have a ladder, so this isn't nearly as bad as it could be.
Crim, meanwhile, dealing with these gorillas down to a heart, really would like that heart container. He makes it through. Lack, unfortunately, does not. He's going to have to try again. And Crim is now in the neighborhood of the path that led to the ladder and the Triforce to see if he can get through these bananas. Ooh.
Unfortunately, not able to do that, slipping up instead.
And just bunches of gorillas in that dungeon, TG. Bunches.
I mean, I'm not complaining.
As he goes through again, and now Lack making his way back to the staircase in level 5. Of course, folks, lots of randomizer tournament action coming your way here on the SpeedGaming channels, as well as on Randomania. Make sure you follow all of those channels and keep an eye on the Zelda 1 randomizer Discord for more information. And I believe we have links. Do we have links in the chat for the standings?
Exclamation point Discord in the SpeedGaming 2 chat will get you a link to the Discord, and from there you can find all the channels, the standings, all of that fun.
Ooh, Lack doing a good job avoiding Gibdo hugs there. Crim down to a half a heart. Oof.
Yeah, this has been crazy. You remember how we were talking about at the beginning of this, that we had, two very knowledgeable players, very technically sound players. Yeah, the game making us look like fools with the way the game is treating both of them right now.
Well, if anybody who has any sort of randomizer experience in pretty much any game can tell you, I mean, you can be very skilled at a game, and the randomizer will make you look like you've never played it before. And both these runners doing an amazing job handling this seed, but I can guarantee you this, if we come across a red ring or wand or a white sword, they're going to grab it.
Oh, 100%. And I'm pretty sure at least one of these two is cursing my name right now. I say one of these two because I know at least one of them doesn't curse.
If it were Fred, we'd have plenty of sons of monkeys under his breath right now. Zach does find the Triforce in 5, and I'm going to assume that he's going to assume that the item on the floor is a heart, and he's going to leave, and I assumed it correctly. So we'll have to wait and see if that is indeed the case, but he is out of 5 for now.
Yep, and that means all Lack really has to find dungeon-wise is 7 and 9, although we still don't know where the bow is hiding.
And we do know that the bow is required. For those of you tuning in late, LackAttack did lose game 1, and as his remorse seed flag thingy, he decided to make Ganon required. So we do know Ganon is required, so that bow is required, and we do not know if it's in 9 yet. Crim being very careful and deliberate with those bombs, doing a good job. One hit will kill him. Does dodge that last boomerang, gets a heart container.
Gotta be happy to see that.
Finally, especially with what's coming up, we know that there's an old man who's going to take money or life. He doesn't know that yet, but that does give him the option to keep his rupees. He's not terribly far from the bomb upgrade. He'd have to kill a lot of enemies to get there, though, so I don't think he's going to waste them there.
No, I mean, at that point, you only have 4 hearts, so, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me to see Crim pay the rupees as opposed to the heart. I mean, if he gets there at 3 hearts, he's just going to go into zombie mode, but... But that's not good. Crim not going back into 4 right now. Might be thinking he's ladder blocked.
Ooh, and if that is the case, that is a huge break for LackAttack. We obviously, as viewers, know that the ladder is right next to that Triforce. It's quite a dig, too. So potentially could be a humongous chance for Lack to stretch a lead out. And at this point, I do believe Lack is in the lead. Ooh, and then a rough death for Crim.
Oh, that's awful. Although, I do want to point out, Lack did world wrap his way to the other side and did pick up the heart container on that ladder because this seed has just been that type of seed.
I mean, it seems like most of the enemies have rolled up. We don't have any defense upgrades. We don't have any offensive upgrades. Every item we found has been trolley, including the trolley silver arrows. We do have a level 7. Let's see, what shape do we have? It looks like first quest.
Yeah, based on that, it definitely does. Hi, Goma!
So, another mixed seed?
From the looks of it, absolutely.
And we could potentially see that bait block come into play. And, I mean, you guys laughed. You laughed when I said that an all-important bait. Required bait.
I mean, if we see a bait block that's required and we started with the bait, that is going to be the absolute best. Although, unfortunately, yeah, but say the wrong side of the food getting the better of Lack there.
Crim, meanwhile, does pick up his power bracelet, and he checks the Power Bracelet spot. I don't know if we ever saw that from Lack's side, but it is in any road. So confirmed? Question mark.
At this point, seeing one at its normal any road spot, I would be venturing to believe that they are in their vanilla location.
Actually, not a bad point in chat, because we do have Second Quest 3. And the Second Quest 3 we know is probably going to have a bait block. And if the bait is in 7, that wouldn't be the worst play in the world to do the bait glitch, which we rarely get to see.
Yeah, also, I really don't want to see that room again that Lack was just in, the blue Wizrobes. Never a fun thing to see.
Oh, I mean, assuming they rolled up just as much as everything else did. It does look like vanilla HP enemies for the bosses, as he masterfully takes out that Gleeok. And Crim finally finds level 9 on this screen. Oh, that screen is just... Oh, that screen, man.
That screen is just brutal.
And just like Lack, skillfully able to make it through, but he's... Oh, yeah, that was going to be way too hard to get through right there.
Yeah, the mob ones weren't the problem there. It was the Zola.
Yeah, and he was down to half a heart. There was almost nothing he could do. All right, it looks like we have potential required Wizrobes, and Lack, with only 2 bombs, does take out some of them. Opts to not leave the room. He's going to keep fighting. 1 hit will be certain death. This is a little hairy.
I do like this play from Crim here, going back into level 3. Pick up a pretty easy to obtain Triforce, and also have a chance to pick up some bombs here, because these red Wizrobes looking pretty easy to kill.
Oh, be careful, Lack! Like 1 more hit! 2 more hits! I lied! Okay, there we go.
Wow,
they're done.
That was incredible. Hi! Remember that easy Triforce in 3 I was talking about? Yeah, no.
Yeah, and just like Lack, now it's Crim's turn, and Crim says, nah, I'm gonna go get some more stuff before I mess with those, because he doesn't have any bombs. I mean, I don't blame him.
No, yeah, there's no reason to do that right now. I mean, also, can we talk for a minute how absolutely masterful that blue Wizrobe room by Lack was? Absolutely
brilliant. I mean, anytime you're dealing with blue Wizrobes, wooden sword, 6 heart containers, green tunic, and oh, by the way, he's down to 1 heart and only 2 bombs. And he was patient, he took his time and took him out, and I mean, at this point, any of the runners that you see in tournaments, I mean, like I said it in my match a couple weeks ago, everybody has gotten so good at the Zelda 1 randomizer. It doesn't shock me to see that level of skill that much anymore, but man, it still makes my jaw drop sometimes. And look at Lack doing
the bomb canana.
Yeah, that's a relatively uncommon canana key you see often. He just pulled it off nicely.
With a bomb, even. And also, I would like to I forget what I was going to point out now. Just continue on without me, forget me.
Lack does find the recorder in 7, and another showcase of skill. He was down to half a heart, and that Goma was in his way. Masterfully dodges the fireball, makes it to the item, and does not take a hit. That was really, really scary there. Well done.
All right, so we have a question in chat. What is a Kanana key? So the short version is the Kanana key is the way the doors are coded in this game is that when 1 opens, they all technically open. So if you have a room with a shutter door, normally, or in the case of Lack, you saw a bomb there. When that door opens, you have a brief window of time to push your way through a locked door to walk your way through it. The reason it's called the Kanana key is because it was initially first discovered by the runner Kananaphone, hence Kanana key.
All right, Crim in level 1 now, and at this point, despite level 1 not being required, only having 2 items, I mean, anything in here would be a boon. Obviously, the bow is still out there. He does find it, almost gets a Y-Force.
Yeah, an unneeded Y-Force. Yeah, he's going to pick that up for the heart refill.
But if he finds anything in this level 1, anything at all, red ring, white sword, wand, any key, the bow.
I mean, at this point, from what we've seen, the only item in here that he doesn't want to see is the book. And even that's not the worst thing, because we've already determined, based on all the question marks we've got, that the book is going to translate the old men. There's also a chance the book could be the atlas, which will give us maps. which isn't a bad thing at all either. But if the book is the worst thing you end up finding here, and it's still going to translate the old man and give you some hints, not actually a bad thing to find. He doesn't know that yet, but anything he's going to find in here is going to be beneficial.
Well, he's going to do a quick pirouette trick to see if he can open up a bomb wall, and he does.
Lack going to go ahead and show off his gambling skills. Only winning 12 rupees, but hey, a win's a win, right?
And now utilizing that recorder, he's going to be able to find out whether or not there's any recorder spots. And he recorders. It takes him to level 7, which opens up and gives him nothing. But that is interesting. We now know it's recorder to first quest dungeons.
Recorder to their vanilla first quest locations.
So I don't think we've seen every dungeon at this point, though. So I don't know if that's going to come into play. Alright, we do have a spot that opens up with that recorder. In second quest, Overworld, the recorder is invaluable because there's so many spots, second quest, Overworld, that opens with recorder. As the first quest where there's only one, and Lack does find 8 rupees. Concern wealth.
I mean, hey, in this seed, 8 rupees is a huge amount of money. No bomb what's left behind. Got to pick up that because bombs have been, kind of a big thing in this scene. And oh, that's another Gleeok here in that one.
Yeah, a lot of bosses so far in this scene.
Extra bosses flag is probably on.
I was gonna say, is that an option? I believe it is.
It is. It's actually one of my favorites.
It's my favorite until you get nothing but Goma, 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 Goma.
No, it's my favorite until it's the best until you end up with, a 7 full of 12 Patras.
Well, speaking of Goma, hi Goma.
Yep, and yeah, that's
Well, that's one of those things. If that ends up being an item that Crim's gonna want, and Lack ends up having the ladder in there, and Crim doesn't, that could really shoot Crim in the foot later on.
Crim trying to set himself up for a clip here, but having to dodge the Gleeok fireballs here, and just says, to heck with it, I'm just gonna burn my key. That's not a fun room.
Yeah, he did a good job avoiding those slow curse bubbles. Finds a staircase.
That's actually good. It may get away past the ladder block. In fact, it pretty much has to.
Still looking for one item here in level 1.
Whoo! Just barely dodges the ropes there.
Oh, why is it always got to be ropes?
I have no idea. I'm just tired of these bleeping ropes in this bleeping level. Yeah, Lack showing us another any road at a vanilla spot. So yeah, I'm pretty much willing to bet that at this point. Any roads are vanilla.
So now, at this point, Lack missing the Triforces for 3 and 7, and I'm pretty sure has he not seen one of those 2 dungeons? I mean, he's digging a lot of Overworld, so I assume at this point that he's maybe not seen one and we just think he has?
No, he's definitely seen both because he picked up the silver arrows in 3 just like Crim did. The thing that could potentially be a thing here is the fact of it could be that he's under the belief that he needs to get the Triforce out of 8 as opposed to the Triforce out of 7, which could be how it works depending on how the first quest dungeons shake out. So he could be looking for 8, just going for that Triforce instead.
Crim finds a container on the floor, and I don't know if he found the other item, but I'm guessing he hasn't because he already has the Triforce and he's going back in.
Yeah, so that means that 3-headed Gleeok.
Oh, the Gleeok, yes.
It's the 3-headed Gleeok.
Yes, you're right. The other thing I was thinking on Lack's side is perhaps he's looking for the white sword item.
Also could be a thing, and there's also, I think there was one room Crim didn't kill with the stairs as well, so. So yeah, Crim wants it to be the Scaria room and not the Gleeok so badly.
Well, the other side of the stairs was a static drop. I believe it was a bomb.
Yeah,
so if it's not the Gleeok, It's got to be the Gleeok at this point, right?
Has to be.
Crim may be saying no thank you, sir, as he's out of 1 and he's going to continue on.
I mean, I don't blame him at this point. 6 hearts, wood sword. That's not a fun fight. Speaking of not fun fights.
Lack finds that room, and just like Crim earlier, decides to say, yeah, no, let's check over here first. Let's just go over here and see what's behind. I'm good for a moment. I'm good. I just did this already once. I don't want to do it again.
Yeah, I'm good with that. And hey, we got a vertical shoot room here in 6, along with a Crim looking desperately at that map, being like, I really want it.
Now that could be. Ooh, look at Lack doing the bomb key again. Very well done. Gets an actual key for his troubles. Is he gonna spend it?
Ooh, yeah, I agree with Lack. You keep that key right there because that's one room to check as opposed to the rest of the dungeon.
All right, round 2, fight. He does have 4 bombs. But this is not a fun room. Not only the 5 whiz robes, but the parts. And oh, he accidentally goes through the door.
Oh no, that's the word.
One thing that could come into play is that potion. I know that Lack bought a potion, did he? He did, didn't he?
He did. He did pick up the 84 rupee potion.
Ooh. I think at this point, TGE, as both runners take on death, that we can comfortably say that this is the Zelda 1 randomizer karma gods saying, well, you had your easy game 1, but you didn't think it was going to be that easy, did you?
I mean, this is just the entertainment we all really came here for.
Well, we are 40 minutes in. I mean, this is still not that bad of a seed from a standpoint that, I mean, other than the bow, we're not too far away, but that bow, I've seen matches where the bow could cost runners over an hour, so you never know.
I think Crimson's happy to have another heart.
I just love how he walks in and it's just question mark? Like, huh?
What? Who are you? Why are you? Why are you here? Why am I here? Why are you on my yard?
Oh, Lack does a hit from the turret. He's down to 2 hearts. And why that's significant is that these blue whiz robes deal 2 hearts of damage. He pulls out his potion. Well, actually, he ran out of bombs and it just took him to the potion. He's not using it. I mean, 1 hit means...
wow. Like, I'm not even in this room and I'm clutching hard.
Oh, he takes out the 2 of the last 3. He gets the Triforce.
Wow, and the Triforce in the whiz robe room. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, this is a tough decision for Lack. He's gonna dig. And why that's tough is if he takes a death, he's gonna have to clear that room. And if they respawn, he's gonna have to clear that room again. He's gonna grab it.
I agree with checking the 1 room up just in case you got the heart container there. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But picking up the Triforce after killing that room, you're just like, yes, I'm good, I'm out. We're good.
So I don't believe we found both items in 3. Just the only one we found was the silvers, but we do know that the other one is the heart container. So it's assuming at this point, because I think it's safe to say that's probably the heart container.
Yeah, because we've seen the heart container on the ground in 4, I believe it was. Yeah, I think it's safe to assume heart shuffle is off.
Well, Lack is going back in, so either he's not convinced yet, or he really wants that heart container.
Or it could be he forgot he picked up the silvers.
That is true. I mean, assuming that at the beginning of the game they marked their trackers or wrote down a note saying that they had the silvers already, and then found those silvers, I mean, immediately at like two minutes into the seed, they probably didn't even think to mark it down. I mean, I'm just spitballing.
Yeah, no, that's the thing is you got to remember. I mean, I know in Crim's first race of this tournament, it took him 15 minutes to realize, oh wait, I start with items.
And of course, from our seat, it's easy to say, oh man, you already found those. But in a race, especially in an environment like this where there's so many different random flags, it doesn't matter who you are. These kind of mental mistakes are the things you have to avoid, but everybody makes them. It's extremely hard to remember what you've done in these seeds.
Yeah, no, 100%. And there's a bomb upgrade. Crim, happy to pick that up.
And it is a vanilla 4 upgrade for a reasonable price. That's reasonable.
I mean, and technically, the way the game thinks about it, bomb upgrades were in their vanilla dungeons, because even though it says 4, the game thinks of it as 5, so bomb upgrades were in quote-unquote 5 and 7.
No indication yet if that recorder was required. I don't believe. So, we'll see if Crim opts to dig for it. Down to half a heart left. And Lack goes all the way to the top of the dungeon, TGE, and doesn't find the stairs. It's behind that locked door that he was at earlier.
No, the stairs were in a corridor stair by that manhandle, I thought. I could be wrong.
Either that or maybe... I'm not sure.
All I know is this is the easiest room in the dungeon.
Grim finds a transport staircase here in 7.
Well, he got what he came here for anyway. That's the heart container, so doesn't have to go back through.
So even if that was a mental mistake or he just wanted that heart container, whatever the case, he is out of 3. Good riddance, that's what I'm sure he's saying.
The other thing that tells us is the meat block isn't going to be an issue in 3 because it's in that little section of the L, the apostrophe, whatever you want to call it. Assuming it's in 3, of course.
And now again, pulling out the recorder and blowing on a couple of those spots that could potentially be staircases. Haven't seen too many of those yet. It would be a huge break for Lack if one of those did open up to have like the white sword item and be anything at this point. The white sword item, no matter what it is, would be a nice find at this point.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think they'd just be happy with the vanilla white sword.
This is our first look at 2, and that was a recorder block too. Oh, hi,
I had to
Wizard.
say something. Oh gosh.
So potentially a big play for Lack. It depends on what's in here, and we still do need that bow.
Yeah, here's the other big thing. Even the gels in this seed have rolled up in HP.
Oh, good grief. Welcome to level 2, Lack. Here have nothing but whiz robes, and oh, by the way, you're out of bombs. Yeah, I don't blame him at all. He's probably charged his bomb count before he goes back in there.
Yeah, like, that level, I'm pretty sure Lax at this point is like, I just want things that aren't whiz robes.
I mean, Wizrobe, they all rolled reasonably close to vanilla, but that doesn't mean it's any easier with Sword.
No.
Not fun.
No, it definitely isn't. Although, another little fun thing to note, I might be a little palindromatic about this, but $48.84 on our potion prices.
Palindromes is a thing to see. Of course, Lack is a big fan of the palindromes, and he does find level 1. Now, we did not see the item in here. I believe it was ladder blocked. Am I correct?
It was either ladder blocked, or I think it was boss blocked behind one of the Gleeoks.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, Crim did find a way around that ladder block. So we'll see if Lack decides to fight the Gleeok. Lack has the skill to do so. He's probably going to dig the dungeon first.
First with all masters. Oh, no!
And meanwhile, Crim down to half a heart, and he's got a Goma problem. Lack.
This is where the recorder is, too.
No! All right, Lack does pick up the Triforce. He's going to get his nice heart refill. And we'll wait to see if he goes back in.
I don't blame him there in the slightest. No bomb. So he's, yeah, no, I'm going to come back in a bit.
Still no white sword item. We're 48 minutes in. We still haven't seen any of Death Mountain. Well, a little bit of Death Mountain. We saw a little bit.
Yeah, Crim died on that one screen and never went back.
Oh, Lack finds a nice, cheap 13 bomb pack and mercifully finally gets some bombs. And meanwhile, Crim back with plenty of health. He's just going to tank his way through.
Or not take any hits at all.
It's only when you have the health. Like when you don't, when you have plenty of health, it's...
Yeah. And now the fun part is we get to finally hear what the recorder tune is. I remember when that first was implemented, it was just on the randomizer as question, question, question. And everyone had no clue what it was. It was like, just go.
I remember that.
I was going into everybody with, just do it, trust me. And of course,
oh, nice job by Lack.
Yeah.
Forces a bomb and then gets another bomb off the floor.
Yeah, that was fun. With my reputation, was like, no, I don't trust you. What's going on? And people were panicking, trying to figure out what it was.
I think the first time I saw that, somebody just told me just to turn it on, and I was like, I'm not turning that on. I don't want the question mark.
I trolled. Oh, that Wizard of Death is hard. I trolled Redbird so hard with that. Oh, and it was the book in one.
Book is in level 1, not the Atlas. Could still be Boomstick. And obviously it's going to help him understand the old men. And he could come into play later, depending on whether or not there's a hint out there for the bow.
Yeah, that's the only advantage of that book at this point, because book being in dungeon means we're not going to have the Boomstick, so wand's going to be fire if we come across that. So, yeah, I mean, again, the hints are going to be the big thing with that.
Recorder blocks a secret, whopping 8 rupees.
I mean, hey, at this point, in this Hyrulean economy, 8 rupees is a lot.
I mean, every little bit helps in a second quest economy. Lack will take it.
I mean, that's an appropriate tune for this.
Yeah. I'm not sure what that tune is. I don't know if I want to know. I don't recognize it. What is that?
I don't know either.
Can we just call it the ha ha ha?
I mean, it fits the circus theme of this.
Oh dear.
Oh, there's Crim using the recorder. Oh, that's huge.
Well done by Crim, utilizing the Whistle to Unbeaten Dungeons flag, whistles to 4, and gets the white sword. And he desperately needed a break like that, TG. It's not going to give him the lead necessarily, but that could be the first step towards a comeback here.
No, but that is absolutely huge. That's the first break he has really gotten in this seed.
I mean, consider for a moment that we're nearly an hour into this seed. Nearly an hour. And between both runners, the only offensive or defensive upgrade that we have received in this entire race has been a bomb upgrade.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane.
So every little bit helps. And now Crim will... I mean, in my opinion, the best defense is a good offense. And that's going to help him survive and get through these dungeons quickly. So now, for Crim, he's going to have to go back into that level 4 and get that ladder at some point. He still needs the Triforce. So at least he's got that going for him. He's not going to get jebaited by going somewhere else looking for that ladder.
Yeah, I mean, we can say that the ladder hasn't been too big of an issue here at this point, but honestly... this whole seed's been an issue.
I mean, of course, he doesn't know the ladder's in there anyways, but yeah, I don't think we've seen an actual ladder block that wasn't in some way passable.
Yeah, I think the only one we really saw was that one in one with the Goma, but that was passable through the staircase. And that was a large secret. And hey, we found level 8.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like 130-something rupees there. And because this is First Quest 8, there's going to be 3 items in here. Of course, one of them we know is the heart container. So, ooh, Lack using the bait strats. It did kind of work until he had a banana Rama.
I mean, he slipped up using bait. That's all I'm gonna say.
Bunches of mistakes made there. Ooh, Gel's dropping items. I didn't notice that earlier.
Yeah, so drop groups have been shuffled. Remember when I said ignore me? I can remember what I wanted to say. That's what I wanted to say. The red keys from the buyers were dropping rupees.
Interesting. Now that flag, I have to admit, I'm not 100% knowledgeable on that particular flag. That doesn't necessarily shuffle all of the drops, does it? Or is it... Exactly how does that flag work, TG?
I mean, as far as I understand, as you know, there are certain group A, B, C, or D, depending, and it just basically shuffles around which monsters are in which group.
Now, Crim, up on Death Mountain. We haven't seen this from either runner. And the odds of something good being the white sword item at this point, we know it's not the white sword.
We do know it's the white sword. Crim got it as the white sword.
Oh, you're right. No, you're right. I'm sorry. This thing's starting to get to me too, apparently.
Yeah, everybody gets one. Everybody gets one. You're good.
Oh, Lack finds a staircase here in 8. He's going to clip through the blocks. Very nice clip. And finds his transport staircase.
You know, what's interesting is usually, like, traditionally you use like the up-down clip to get there. That sideways clip to get to the horizontal, the vertical clip, I love that. It just looks so much smoother.
It's a little tighter to pull off, as Crim does find level 8 as well. It's harder to get because you have less pixels to work with to transition to the second clip than you do from the down-up clip. So it's a little tighter to pull off. And you see it a lot in second quest, but not so much in first quest. A few runners do it. Unos is really good at it. I know Green Mario's done it. And obviously Lack showing his skill as well here.
Can we talk about that bomb clip and that clip in the reverse serum to get the bomb drop? That was crazy.
So the hitboxes on the sword they're really weird. This game has weird hitboxes.
Yeah,
and you can pick up items. You can pick up items with the sword, and when you swing your sword, for a very quick moment, that hitbox appears above Link's head, and Lack clipped into the block and was able to pick up the item despite being nowhere near it. So it was pretty cool.
That's Dig Dogger giving Lack a little bit of the business. So Ops, I'm gonna come back in and try for round 2. Grim opting to pick up some bombs from the Dodongo, and hey, Grim's like, wait, I have a recorder, what am I doing?
Oh, Lack dodging those Dig Dogger pups brilliantly. A hit from these guys and he's dead. Just needs to kill one, he can leave the room!
Oh, this fight is so
I'm scared!
You too! Oh, he got it! Oh, Crim found an item! He's happy to find that!
And he does not have the book, so this is a huge upgrade for Crim. And just like that, Crim has a huge offensive advantage on Lack. Lack, of course, will probably dig that wand out, but every second that Crim has these 2 items is going to allow him to have a little bit quicker combat in each of these scenarios.
And there's the hint of Aquamantis awaiting in the forest, but we knew that already.
Another nice side effect of that wand is, despite having silver arrows for literally the entire seed, we still do not have a real distance weapon. And now Crim has the ability to have a weapon he can shoot from afar to kill enemies. So that's a nice bonus.
Yeah, the problem is we run into so many Wizzrobes, I don't know if it matters. Also, remember that segment in 5 you said was inconvenient? We also have a segment in 8 here that's inconvenient.
Yeah. Well, Crim did find the one item, and he is leaving. Now, we did see the heart on the floor, so at this point, I think it's 100% confirmed for the most part that it's hard shuffles off. Of course, now they'll find something.
Yeah.
Oh!
No!
Oh, Crim is just like that. He needs to go back to 8. Lack is in go mode.
Yeah, but here's the crazy part. That bow is ladder blocked.
Oh. Well, I'm not gonna say it's over. We're still a long way from the end of this seed, especially knowing that Ganon's required. But that is a humongous advantage for Lack and really increases his chances of forcing game 3.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me rephrase that. I'm fairly certain that bow was ladder blocked. I didn't see all the rooms on the north side of that 9, but I'm fairly certain it was ladder. And Lack getting all the bombs he could ever want here in this Dodongo room.
So, interesting though, assuming Lack knows that he doesn't need this Triforce, he is in go mode. I believe.
Right.
Am I missing something? Or
I think Lack's going after this Triforce under the impression that we are on the second quest switcheroo.
Ah, okay. So he may think this is level 7.
Right. But now he's confirmed that because that Triforce, as you saw there, was grayed out, that he doesn't need this anymore. So he does need to go back and get the Triforce out of 7. Oh, those big dogger pups.
Yeah, to answer in chat, we do know level 9's location. It is at the waterfall below the vanilla white sword location. All right, so I believe Lack did see 7, so he's just a Triforce away from headed to 9.
Yeah, Lack now hitting the pause button, realizing what happened. The other thing that bow does mean is Lack is no longer looking for items, so he's going in this on wood sword. So we're not going to get a wand, we're not going to get the white sword, anything like that. He is full on. I'm looking for the Triforce. I'm heading to 9. Moment of truth here coming for Crim, whether or not we are fully ladder blocked here or not. Lack gonna go ahead and pick up a potion here. Always a good thing to have in 9, especially with bubbles, and that slow curse is the worst. And there's an old man questioning everything about this seed, like the rest of us are.
Just every time he walks into a room, it's like, huh?
Who am I? Why am I here? What did I do? And yeah, there's that ladder block that we saw.
Oh, so it is going to be a ladder block, and if that's the case, the uphill battle for Crim to get back in this game too is going to be extremely steep.
Yeah, 100%. Crim gonna pick up the compass here and discover the same thing that Lack did, the fact that that's not really needed. 14 rupees short for the bomb upgrade for Lack.
I thought that was the map.
The map?
Yeah, he guards the map. On God!
Oh, true, yes, on God. I forgot my fencing saber today, so...
He may end up picking enough rupees in this level 7 to go back and do that. I don't know, an hour and 3 minutes into the seed, and considering how trolly it's been, one has to wonder if they feel behind, or I would probably feel behind at this point.
I'm pretty sure Crim has felt behind since the seed started because he's playing against Lack.
Fair enough.
So I brought this up the other night when I was doing commentary, and I'm going to bring it up here to you again because it only makes sense. See, you know how the vanilla, first quest shapes have or first quest, dungeons have their own names, like the moon, the eagle, things that are pretty obvious, like the snake from 4. Then you have level 7 here, which is the demon. Up until last year, I didn't know why this was a demon. But
I always thought it was a snake.
I mean, no, but you can clearly see how it's the demon, though, because is that not a goose?
So what you're telling me is the secret is in the tip of the honk.
Yes, exactly. And you mess with the honk, you get the bonk.
Now I can't unsee that. Thanks. I'll never be able to unsee that.
Level 7, the honk.
I can't unsee it, dude. I'm like looking at it. It looks like a goose, or it looks like the. It looks like the mask that when in Beetlejuice, when Alex Baldwin's character pulls his face out.
Oh gosh, yes!
Oh hi, Wizrobes. Oh dear.
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh dear.
And he only has 4 bombs, wood stored. I don't know if he has any potions left. Ooh, Crim.
Ladderless Gleeok in an NSU room coming in from the side. That's not fun. Crim's like, yeah, that's not fun. I'm out. Peace out, homies.
He's gonna bail. He may return if he was able to get a potion or some, at least more health. The offense is only gonna do so much in that type of room, though. Oh, Lack finds a potential item that gets sniped.
Goma saying no.
This is the seed that just keeps on giving, TG.
Yeah, I mean, I am perfectly down for this. Yeah, the question becomes, where is the Triforce here in 7?
We already saw, I believe, the transport staircase, didn't we?
Yeah, that Goma room was one of the transport staircases because it was the spiral Goma that had the recorder.
So that's got to be an item then. Wait, is it? Wait,
No.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, no, this is just a transport staircase, that's all.
Okay, yeah, my bad.
No, that's perfectly fine. I mean, no one's going to accuse you of anything much. What I am going to accuse, though, is that Octorok of being very frisky over there, wanting him some Onion Knight. Yeah, but the way Crim is routing this, he has to think that he's ladder blocked out of 4.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's gonna probably mean that he's not going back to 4 until the end. With the potential, I mean, he hasn't found a lot of these items yet. He hasn't found anything in 8. So he found the wand in 8. He hasn't found any of the items in 2. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. He's gonna run out of options relatively soon, but I don't think he's gonna go back to 4 right away. He already found the banana in 4, so.
Yeah, he has to think he's ladder blocked. He's coming back here into 7 as well, just like Lack is. Both of them here are looking for the Triforce, and also apparently C is for Cookie.
Yeah, that's good enough for me.
Yeah, we have all kinds of good things and nice things, but what's not nice is this room full of Wizrobes.
And you know, I'm not even gonna be mad about that death. I mean, that was just a mean room. But this seed just continues to put these runners in positions where they're fighting Wizrobes in a room, and they have no health because every room is hard in the seed. Like, you'll never have health. And just, yeah, just have fun. Have fun. Welcome to Zelda 1 Randomizer.
Yeah, we've seen the 2 extremes today. We saw the 13-minute seed, and now we're going to see the 13-hour seed.
I mean, at least we know that Lack is running out of options now for this Triforce. So eventually he's going to find it. Eventually.
But are you sure about that?
Nothing is certain in life but death and taxes, TGE. Nothing is certain in life.
Crim picking up the map, so he now confirms, hey, I'm in level 7.
He gets the honk as well. We have double honk. Oh, this room is so brutal. This isn't even fair. It's hard to watch. I feel bad for them both. This is so brutal.
Yeah, this really is. Lack immediately saying, you know what, I'm done with this. Gonna potion up before he even walks in. Oh, Crim, no!
Oh. This is one of those circumstances where you'll see some runners, especially in these random percent flags, opt to utilize select as pause. And a lot of people, when they watch the randomizer, why would anybody not want to select as swap? Well, in circumstances like this, when you're low on health and you're in one of these rooms, and you're only a few hits away from clearing the room, so you don't want to leave, because then you have to start all over again, utilizing that select button to just pause the game for a split second and just catch your breath, get your bearings, is so huge. So, yeah, in some circumstances, it can cost you time, and I'm sure I've lost races using that. But I've won races doing that too. So it's one of those things. What do you pick? And this is the type of seed that would have been a humongous advantage. Both these runners doing select swap. So neither has that advantage here, but it's just brutal. There's nothing you can do about it. Just go in and be on point.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. Looking at Crim's rupee count right now, I might consider farming for the blue ring.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you gotta also... No dot dones yet. You're an hour 10 in. Crim has still yet to find the bow. He hasn't seen the ladder. And he's probably thinking, you know, Lack's probably not having that much easier time than I am. So, at this point, you might, yeah, just, why not?
Yeah. Normally, I'm like, oh, this, like, you know, you look at this, he's like, oh, this seed isn't bad. I'm looking at this, I'm like, I'm glad I'm not playing this seed. So we have a little high five there as Crim goes left, Lack goes right.
And there is that Wizbro broom under the letter A, I believe it was, that we haven't seen cleared yet.
Yeah, that's the one Crim's in right now.
And I don't think we've seen this one yet either, that Lack is in.
Yeah, no,
Crim
Crim
has
died
the
in that
health
one
now.
with one Wizrobe left. Crim has the advantage of what this. There it is. So Crim died in the Triforce room. Ah.
And he's down to a heart, even though he has that white sword. This is going to be an uphill battle. He needs to get this Triforce desperately, and he's clearing the wrong room. Lack, meanwhile, out of level 7, has all 8 Triforces, has everything he needs. As long as he's ready to go, he's going to be headed to 9.
Yeah, I mean, and that's, you know, that's the thing. It's like with the bow, with the ladder, with the silvers, knowing where 9 is, there's nothing Lack could need to get himself into to that 9 could do to him at this point. And I think if you're Crim, you know, at this point, you're just like, just dot done. Just show me a dot done, please. I just want the dot done.
There's certain races where, you know, you never want to lose a race, but there are certain seeds where you're an hour 12 in, you're still nowhere near go mode, and you're just like, yeah, just end it. He already won race 1. There's no pressure on him. Yeah. This has just been one of those seeds, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing with Crim here is taking that game 1. It's a little bit less pressure here because, you know, oh, we have a left only 9. That's interesting.
So again, into level 9, we do know that LackAttack, who was the runner-up in game 1. Oh, good, Wizrobes. Oh, good. Oh, good find immediately in 9. Lack comes across the any key. He only had 3 to his name, so he's definitely going to take that. Wait,
finding the any key with less than double-digit keys?
I mean, yeah, I've heard of this happening, but I've never seen it before tonight. So we do know that Ganon is required. So there are two things we're going to be looking at. Obviously, you won't be able to hear the game audio, but Lack is going to be listening for the roar of Ganon. If he hears Ganon in an adjacent room, he's going to go in and hopefully take care of the pig first try.
Oh.
There's a lie, old man.
So we had deceptive hints on even.
And of course, we're also... Oh, Lack uses his potion!
No! Oh, no!
And normally...
Find level 2.
Alright, Crim headed into 2. I don't think we ever saw the item in here, did we?
No, I think we saw Wizrobes and we got out.
Well, for Crim's sake, I hope he finds Red Ring or...
Yeah, Red Ring.
Red Ring. Red Ring.
Red Ring. Also, Lack setting up a consecutive kill there on the old man. Or just taking out his frustration on the lies. One of the two.
Immediately finds a ladder block in 9, so if it wasn't already confirmed by some weird shape of the imagination, we know now 9 is ladder block, so...
Yep, and so remember that count that Lack was setting up? He immediately got hit by a Wizrobe, so it didn't matter.
And it's like every room in this dungeon is Wizrobes, man. Like, there's a Ganon. In his room. Wooden sword is going to take 15 hits. There's 2. Now, keep in mind, green tunic, a hug will mean instant death, but he gets the lock. There's 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, I mean, and as you said, Lack's a map. Oh, the lock drops. No, yeah, that's the thing with Ganon. You can have the rhythm all you want, but sometimes it's just going to...
Oh no! Just a few hits away, and he accidentally hits him on top of himself and takes a hug. He's gonna have to start the fight all over again, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him try to farm a fairy or some hearts here.
I mean, he does have that super early old man he can definitely set up the fairy drop off of. Also, Crim getting slow cursed there, and I'm watching this and I'm just cringing.
Lack does force a bomb. Ooh. All right, round 2 coming up soon. He does only have 4 hearts to aim, so not much better than last time. He can take some fireballs before he dies, but a single hug will be an insta-kill. Round 2, here we go.
Are you talking about with Ganon or with these Wizrobes on Crim's side?
Both.
Yeah.
All right, he has the stun lock again. Oh, that slow curse.
Oh, it's so painful. What's not as painful, though, is watching Lack with that absolutely beautifully rhythmic stun lock, and there we go. The pig is down.
All right, so now, assuming that that's just not complete coincidence, Ganon in his own room means Zelda's going to be in her room, so Lack's going to be looking for a single shutter door going up.
I mean, that's always what I'm looking for when I come into 9 in these seeds, until I get a compass or something that tells me otherwise.
And hopefully not finding any more Wizrobes, because good grief, this 9 is just chock full.
Well, what good 9 wouldn't be chock full of Wizrobes?
This is true. This is very true.
So I don't like to make light of this because they're doing much better than I could ever possibly do in this seed, but what's the over-under on number of deaths that Crim's got right now?
I'm going to plead the 5th, FIF, because I would either undershoot it, overshoot it, but either way I'd feel like a jerk, so I'm just gonna he finds the shutter door,
yeah, there
and
it
it's
is.
gonna be Zelda, there it is!
And I'm pretty sure there's a huge sigh of relief coming from Crim as this is gonna be over. Also, that slow curse we saw for a while, it looks like Link is Sonic at this point with how fast he's running. Yeah, and there it is. Lack with the dot done with the official SRL time of 1 hour, 18 minutes, and 16 seconds. And Crim with the snap forfeit.
And there are a few different times you may see a runner be happy to forfeit. And I would, if I were in Crim's shoes, I would probably be very happy that the seed is over, because it all came down to just some unfortunate luck with level 4 on Crim's side. Lack getting that ladder and the chain reaction allowing him to get the bow, and he just pulled away from there. And an impressive show of fortitude, sticking through it, and pulls out, evening up the series at 1 game apiece.
But hey, look on the bright side. That means we get game 3.
Hey, I'm always down for an extremely exciting game 3. And as you saw, both runners definitely able to put on a great show. I can't wait for game 3.
No, I can't either. That's going to be an absolute fantastic show. I mean, yeah, we were joking about the jet seed of game 1, but think about the pressure that puts on a game 2 that turns into something like this. You know, you're the one who lost that game 1. It's all here. It's all the pressure. You're putting all this pressure on yourself because you don't want something like that to happen again. So it puts the drama, it puts the emotion into a match like this. It's absolutely incredible.
And as we wait for our runners to join us for post-race commentary and ask them a few questions about those extremely different seeds, make sure you follow both these runners, folks. LackAttack24, CrimsonAvix, 2 of the best people in the community. Make sure you give them both a follow. It's not only for the randomizer, but just for the people. They're great guys. Give them a follow. Say what's up to them. You saw them here on SpeedGaming 2 in an exciting pair of matches.
And not to get everybody hyped, but I'm looking and listening into the conversation they're having in the IRC. They're talking about game 3. So while they're talking about game 3, we're going to talk to our people behind the scenes.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know about you, TGE, but I ain't got nowhere else better to be.
Nope, nor do I.
I mean, right now I'm at home, as a lot of you folks at home are at home, and I don't mean literally. I mean, yeah, I'm literally at home, of course, but I ain't got no work tomorrow. We can do this all night. Let's go, baby. Let's go game 3. Hopefully, we'll find out shortly, and we'll let you guys know as soon as we have official word. If not, we'll tell you when the match is going to be, so stay tuned. You will have something from us very shortly.
So the official word is as follows. We're going to do a quick little break. We're going to run a couple of ads, and we will be right back for game 3.
Oh, baby. All right, don't go anywhere, folks. We're going to do this. Win or go home. The winner goes on to round 3, and anything goes in these flags. So stay tuned. Pull up a chair. Get some coffee. I'm getting some coffee. And hang tight, because we are going to see the exciting conclusion coming up after these break.